back and then fade in. There we go. There we go. This is really weird. I didn't plan for this angle, so I gotta adjust my mic. So what's up?
Hi, Joey.
Hi. It's Kyle and Joey.
We're Golden Sauce.
Yeah. Ooh, Gatorade. What is this? Episode 234, week 2 of 2019. January 5th is what I wrote on there. But
yeah.
it's not the 5th.
It's not. It is week 2.
It should be the 6th, I think. Let me fix that real quick. It should be the 6th. Jeez, man. I'm just fucking shit up. Well, I thought we'd rolled over until tomorrow already, so.
Not quite.
Yeah. Pretty close. All right.
We got a late one going.
Yeah,
time.
late start today, but that's okay. So this is going to be the Game of the Year podcast for 2019. I hate this green background.
Well, for 2018.
2018, yes. 2019's 2018's
Yeah.
Game of the Year. Yeah.
It's like how cars do.
Yeah, kind of. No, cars are a year ahead. We're a year behind.
It's similar but opposite.
Yeah. It's
how cars do.
Yeah. I'm wearing a hoodie.
I'm not. I'm wearing a cool shirt. Look, for the first time on the podcast, I'm wearing a cool shirt. It's a cool shirt.
You wore the Resident Evil 7 shirt.
Yeah, that's true. I got
I
got this one from T Fury, and it's got Simon fucking Belmont.
No,
on
they can eat butt.
Yeah, this shirt sucks. Actually, it's got
right. That's the problem with like some of those like internet
also,
T-shirts is like not great all the time.
It's gonna be garbage after I wash it once.
It's one of those things that looks great. You should buy. It's kind of one of those things you want to buy. Like you think, oh, should I buy a shirt or should I buy a print of it? And the answer is you should always just buy a print of it.
Yeah,
because the shirt's just you're gonna wash it.
It's gonna be bad.
Like, they should sell shirts where you just slide the print in.
Fucking got it done.
Look at this. It looks amazing. I don't know.
Or they should just charge me an extra $5 and make it not shitty.
Well, we just open a screen printing business and you just photocopy everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm wearing a basic ass Amazon Basics hoodie that was in my car.
I love it. It looks really good.
Yeah, it's comfortable.
Yeah. It's about comfort.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be cold when I ride. Also, it makes me look really big.
Yeah, you're fucking
slanted.
Yeah.
Here, so
you're really bulking up.
Oh yeah. It's because I'm sitting in a shitty angle. I'm trying to like sit back in this chair, but I don't like. It makes it so like I'm shooting into like a weird angle. Probably.
Yeah, I guess
it's weird. Like okay, so if I fix the camera like it should be like that, then I look less crazy. A little less crazy.
I mean, are you filming me crazy too?
No, you're fine. You're like shot kind of, I guess, like this wise. Whereas I was shooting like this wise.
Are you doing that thing where it's like 35 millimeter film like makes you look fat and then like you know?
Oh no, I
like,
just shrink the resolution. Like I just
yeah.
We're thinned up this way.
You like size it down to 4x3
and in real life and like holy crap.
Yeah, like wow, these guys are really bigger than me.
Wow, camera adds 20 pounds.
Yeah. Subtracts 20 pounds because of.
You can do that. Anyway. So game of the year. The way we normally do game of the year, a little roundtable discussion. No Alf here today. He's I don't know. He said he was on his way and just start without him. So if he shows up, he shows up. Sounds like might be a thing. So the way we usually do it is we only do 5 games for our game of the year, and it's not the best game of the year. It's just the best game. What we feel is our game, best game we play,
and you can quantify it however you want. You know?
Yeah.
Like this one was the most fun, so I had the most fun playing this game. So
I usually look at it as a game I'm most likely to recommend someone. You know what I'm saying?
I like that too,
and that I enjoyed personally, like because the recommend thing is like really tough.
Yeah.
And this year especially, like mine has like a giant asterisk. Like best game I spent more than 4 hours playing, or more than 2 hours playing. You know, or spent more than best game that I got through the introduction, and I'm probably going to try to make an effort to try to finish, or because like if you look at my time played, like there's some garbage games on there.
Yeah,
just because I was playing so much of it. So that being said, let's see. We usually do January 1st to December 31st because that's why we wait till after the new year, just in case anything comes out. And like, what else? I don't know. Like
it benefited us this time.
Yeah. It did. I mean, because Smash came out in December.
Yeah.
I think this year was a lot like last year, where like a lot of the early games that came out were had a long time to be influential and set a bar.
Yeah.
What was it? Last year was Breath of the Wild, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where Breath of the Wild was able to like set the bar for the year, and that came out really early. And even Mario, and then Mario Odyssey came at the end of the year. Other years has been like Doom was pretty early in the year too. Yeah. So, you know, and then like I said, it's like we don't even, and like we usually like, I know you know what probably my game of the year is, because I think you've heard me like talking about it with people, and you know, I don't know what yours is. I have a good idea what it is, you know, from knowing you, but you know, I feel like
you might get a slight curveball,
right? And I feel like
I doubt it. But
the nice thing about this is, especially if Alpha's here, the best thing is like there's a possibility for us to have 15 games to talk about. But more than likely, this just becomes us talking about like 7 or 8 games. You know, this is basically our lists are pretty similar. But we do talk about why certain games get ranked higher than other games on our personal lists. Yeah, and you know, there are things, and you know,
usually like in the lower parts of our list, there's a lot of diversity,
right?
And then like as we start like kind of defining like what the top tier is, like
1, 2, and sometimes 3 are usually about
pretty
the same.
Pretty similar. Like usually they fall like 1 or 2 next to each other as far as our tastes are concerned.
All right. Well, I mean, we're gonna forego any news, and like, you know, obviously, like we had a good Christmas, we had a good New Year. You know, that's one of the reasons why we didn't have a show for 2 weeks, is doing that stuff. Yeah. You know, and trying to shove like recording on New Year's Day or New Year's Eve or Christmas Eve or Christmas Day.
It's also other people have stuff doing. You know what I mean? Like you got family. You're not trying to listen to a podcast, right?
Right.
And you don't want to create a backlog for somebody.
If you look at my podcast backlog from the holidays, it's like 60 something hours.
You showed me.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Just Giant Bomb alone.
Giant Bomb alone is like, I'm 10 minutes away from finishing. I already know what it is. It's just like I'm 10 minutes away from finishing, and so I had a couple of the discussions ruined for me. But like, I want to talk like if you want,
bad when your podcast is being spoiled, like you're
right. Well, so like, you know,
by like their Twitter or something.
No, like someone said, you know, like they do categories. Like someone said, well, now that this game, like I think it was like now this game like is this Giant Bomb's most disappointing game. How do you feel about like?
And so like, I didn't know that was their most disappointing game.
Yeah, right. And then like so then you don't know how that got there or what the you know, the discussion is. And then like, you know, with the game of the year, you're like, oh, that game's game of the year. Oh, or that game's game of the year. Or oh yeah, of course that game's game of the year. And then you kind of don't really care because of the ending spoiled there for you, because like the way they do theirs is they negotiate the position. They like 10 through 1, and so you know.
Yeah, I like their game of the year discussions that I've heard in the past. Like,
there's some that I want you to a couple of them that I want you to hear. Is really interesting and really like out there.
I like their style, like how they basically like spatter like a wide cone of what they think could be considered game of the year, and then be like, well, for this reason alone, this is not in contention for. And I think that's the correct way to do it.
Yeah, they have some interesting stuff. All right, so I guess like I guess we can do some honorable mentions. Any games that you did not make your game of the year list that you want to talk about?
You want the nuts?
I mean,
right off.
Go ahead and tell me, and I'll tell you if it's on my list.
You know, it's in my honorable mentions.
One of that.
Red Dead Redemption 2.
Of course, it is
my honorable mention.
So
it doesn't make top 5 for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's like
that's a long game, and it's very set in its ways.
That's the problem, is that like I think I had too much. I think it was the perfect storm of not getting done for me. Like it was just the game's massive. There were games that I was looking more forward to, so close to it.
Yeah.
I was playing other games while I was playing Red Dead.
Yeah, that's a game you have to devote all your time to.
And I think the controls are sloppy. I think I know you can change them, but like I just couldn't find like a structure that I liked. And it's just too open world. Like there's just too.
You don't enjoy getting off your horse and slapping the shit out of it?
There's just too much. And like I understand that game is a masterpiece. I said in previous episodes, like I'm not shitting on the game. I know Red Dead is insane. Like it's you know what I mean? Like if someone was like, well, I think it's a 10, I'd be like, yeah, sure.
So that one is on my list, and I will tell you, like I won't spoil where for it is on my list, but I will say this: like that game has its problems.
Yeah.
The number one key problem is that it is a game that is a slow starter.
Yeah.
It is a game that
it's also a slow finisher.
It's a game that wants you to focus on playing good or bad.
It does demand your attention.
The controls, are you know, they're not intuitive isn't the right word. I mean, you know, because you end up in a situation where they're not no, they don't really, aside from movement, they don't really mimic
Yeah.
any other games or use any other games use that kind of controls. And then the systems inside there are kind of awkward. How you manage your horse's health, how you manage your health, how you manage stamina, how you manage.
Yeah, the cores are awkward. I think that Deadeye is a really abusable concept.
Right. The way items work.
Well, it's weird because like I didn't want to use Deadeye, so like I would get into a trend of where I would try to shoot everybody in a you know what I mean, like an actual third person shooter, and I would get so overwhelmed.
You need to use Deadeye, yeah.
Because like I'm first off, I've admitted tons of times I'm not good at third person shooters.
Sure,
I'm not good at first person shooters either. Like but you know what I mean. Like I thought that Deadeye it's so much more powerful than like even VATS.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like it's VATS, but just if VATS was always 100%, you know what I mean? Like
right.
So.
And you also have like like the story is it's an open world game, so you have to spend time doing open world things, and then you also
that's the shit I like the most.
There's things, but in the end of the day, like the systems are weird. Like you have to research the animals to get a perfect pelt, and then if you don't get if you don't have the animals researched the whole way, then you're not going to kill them the right way with the right weapon. Then you're not going to get the perfect pelt.
And then you gotta do the grind where you're like, I need 4 bear skins, and I've only gotten 3, and this one's not perfect, so I got to go do another one. And
the inventory is kind of weird in that thing.
I can see how the game would frustrate people because it frustrates me. And
playing the story is a full-time job. You know what I'm saying? You're just going to spend a full week there, and then to devote your spare time, what little spare time you have, or what. There are people in this world who have 16 hours a day that they're devoted to gaming.
Yeah.
And for you to, wake up, play that game top to bottom, and it still take, 40, 50, 60 hours, that's a lot to ask, And there are some people who are like, hell yeah, that's what I want. I mean, like 60 hours a game for $60.
If that was your thing, if you were going to go, hey, Kyle, I'm planning on spending like $120 total in 2018 on video games,
right?
There'd be 2 games on my list, and Red Dead would be one of them because like that's the most content you can possibly get.
Yeah.
So, that be said, that's why it's an honorable mention for me, because I think that it deserves notoriety and it deserves the acclaim that it got, because obviously it's a juggernaut. Like I mean, the game made a fucking $1 billion, right?
Right.
So. Those are my accolades for given to Red Dead Redemption 2.
I mean, like, it's a game, like, hearing the ending, hearing the story, hearing the tales, hearing everything, and like, playing them as much as I can play in my situation. But I'm definitely happy with what they made there. Ooh.
You want me to handle it?
No, it's fine. Let it roll.
Are you sure?
It won't come in.
Are you sure?
I'm fine. It's fine. Never comes on.
Okay.
Yeah. No. Anyway, it's
fucking cold out. Like, what is it doing?
Like, yeah.
Like, shut up, AC.
AC kicked on for those who
if you can't hear it,
I'm pretty sure the editing will kick it out, but just in case.
Cool.
I don't know. Like, it's just a game that like like you and I talked about it. It's in its systems. It's in its own little thing, and it wants to do it, and it's fine. Let's see. Let me get an honorable mention in here. Celeste is one of my honorable mentions.
I didn't play a single second of it, so I don't want to.
It's free right now.
But yeah, I downloaded it. I want to play Celeste.
So I mean, like it's little indie platformer. Very much
tackle some serious issues,
right? With some serious issues in the story, and that for me is like it's kind of interesting to see that and the way that they address that in such a pretty simple game, and I think the jumping is good, the art is good, the music's good, everything, the controls feel good, it's very responsive, and that's kind of what you want, and it's a good like game that you can sit and play 15-20 minutes, get some levels done, do the B-sides, the remixes of levels, hear some different tunes and kind of save your progress. And it's challenging and rewarding, like trying to figure your way out how to jump through these levels.
We have a close friend who is saying that it's his game of the year. It
wouldn't surprise me. It's a really good game. Like sadly I feel like this is a game for me where big games are the ones that like I want to. Yes, you made these good big games. I'm really happy about it, and especially story-driven games for me this year. Red Dead being story-driven, and a couple others on my thing being story-driven. But yeah, I mean, like if you have Xbox Live Games with Gold, it is free right now.
Yeah,
Free.
that's a steal.
It's an excellent game for free if you're already paying for it. Buy a month of Gold.
It's seriously, $10. $10
to go play it.
Pretty good deal.
Play it and then be happy about having played a
and then you get to like putz around on Overwatch.
Yeah, there you go.
So.
Is Overwatch? What is Overwatch?
No. You just have live time now, so you might as well play a game that demands it.
You can play the better stuff. Play all the better stuff. What else? Let's see. You got another honorable mention? 'Cause I got a couple more.
I do. Yeah. My other honorable mention is Ni no Kuni 2.
We play as the president for a minute.
Yeah. A president and a king.
Yeah, I've looked at. Holy crap! So I've watched so much video on that because probably about like 2 or 3 months after it came out, people became really comfortable with spoiling what that game is and what the story is and what's going on in there.
Well, because there's a lot of facets.
The fucking president just has a fucking gun.
Yeah.
In a fucking Ni no Kuni game. You're like, what the fuck?
He just has like an actual gun.
He has an actual gun.
No, there's like cutscenes where like he just like aces dudes. like someone's like running at him with a sword and he's just like
the president of the United States of America is a party member in your game and he has a gun.
So also he has somehow gone back in time in a different dimension. Like he's a young version of himself with his old man knowledge.
Right. It's a weird game.
So like there's like one time where like a rat guy is like coming at you with a sword. It's like right at the beginning, so I'm not even spoiling anything. He's like coming at you with like a sword and he just goes, "Yeah, I don't have time for this shit," and like fucking pulls out his goddamn heat and just like literally just guns down a rat dude. Like you're like, "Yep, that's what I would have done too."
Me too, bro.
But yeah, I think Ni no Kuni 2 does everything that Ni no Kuni 1 does wrong. I think this one reinvigorates how I wanted Ni no Kuni 1 to be. And that it's got a more exciting combat system that's less dependent upon like tracking down fucking Pokemon.
Yeah. I mean, like you can kind of see the guys out there in the world and, you know.
So those guys are not your actual dudes. They're just guys who like kind of hover around the battle and you can interact with them and you can tell them to do stuff, but they're not the character that you're
right.
So like I just felt like that felt so restrictive in the first game, and like playing a JRPG is already hard enough. You know what I mean? Because it's like it's time consuming, and then it's also like, especially if it's fucking turn based, like oh my god, like it's a slog half the time. And like you're like, oh, I really love this story and like a beautiful soundtrack and stuff, but like turn based shit puts you to sleep. It just is what it is. So Ni no Kuni 2.
All right.
That is my other.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah.
I have one that like I have a weird spot on my list where I want to like put it on there, but if I had like a 10, like a list of 10, this would be on there. And I played a little bit of it, but like what's good about it is also what's bad about it is Into the Breach is
okay. Yeah.
So I know you saw me fucking with that game a lot.
Yeah.
And so like for me, like it's such I mean, it's a concept I really like. One, like it's like chess in that you need to think 3 moves, 4 moves, 5 moves ahead, and you know it also. But at the same time, they give you all everything you need is right there in front of you. The bad guys' moves are telegraphed. They're going to tell you what they're going to do, what order they're going to do it, and that's what's going to happen. And you know you kind of have to puzzle out like, okay, what's the best way to do this? Can I sacrifice this guy? Can I do this? Can I do that? And you know, when the game first came out, there it was pretty much the same game it is now, but they listened to the fans like, oh, hey, this would be a lot better for streaming if you put it an A through, an alphabet and a number grid so that we can kind of communicate the tiles better, on there. And like they did it and they put that in there. And like, this is a game you could pick up. It was $10 on sale on the Switch. And if it goes on sale for $10 and it's just basically tactics, you're a squad of time travelers who are trying to prevent an alien invasion by going back in time and destroying the aliens and preventing them from destroying stuff. And it goes like super deep, and it has like, that roguelike element where you can save some of your progress and send it back in time and stuff like that. And like the only reason why I didn't put it on there is just because like you don't ever get the like same 2 games over and over again, but you do get into the thing you're like, you can get burnt out. You're like, oh, well, I did this map 100 times now. I've done it 1,000 times now. I'm still fighting the same. I think they're the Vec. I'm still fighting the Vec here on the same map, and you know, you get to the end and you're like doing another island or getting more stuff. It kind of, you know, you're like kind of just playing, you know, the same thing that happens with a lot of the roguelikes. You're just like, okay, I'm just doing the same thing.
I mean, like, don't get me wrong, like that's why I love Diablo.
Yeah,
but Diablo suffers from the same kind of scenario.
Yeah.
That's why people like Path of Exile, because there's so much more content, so you don't have to continue.
Well, I mean, like, you know, there's other ones that have like this one does like get the, you know, the maps are kind of generated randomly in such a way that, you know, you get different maps, you get different enemy spawns and things like that.
Yeah.
You know, they send different.
It can be too similar. Yeah.
Right. Well, you know, you're just like, okay, you know, like I can do, you know, you can get into a rut really easy, you know, and then you can also just get bogged down in that game. You're just like, okay, I got to do this. And you're like, there's no possible winning scenario, you know, like, oh, there's no way I'm going to win this. And there's no way I'm going to do that. And, you know, that's okay, but it just kind of happens. So. And it's also a game that like I'm really good at when telling someone else how to play, but when I'm playing myself, I fucking
you make dumb decisions.
I make the dumbest fucking decisions.
I mean, you know, I've played Civilization before.
Yeah, that's a lot like that. Any more? I got a couple more if you don't have any.
Ooh, I only thought up 2 really. Let me give me another one, then I'll kick around. You know, yeah, it sucks that I'm putting it here, but it's just not on my top 5. So, Mega Man 11 is on my honorable mention.
Oh, that's a good one. I didn't know whether or not to talk about that one or not.
Yeah, I think that it is praiseworthy and that it does a lot of things right and that it feels like Mega Man, and at the same time, it does not feel like Mega Man, and it does some things wrong that I don't like.
Okay.
Yeah, I do think that it was one of the games that I played that I felt like I wanted to complete it. And so, you know,
I did pick that game. It was 8 hours.
Yeah,
it was,
I remember you did it on the charity stream.
Slog.
Yeah, I did it much later. After you already told me how to do everything. I was like, yeah, fine. So that's the I 100% agree with you, and that game, it does feel and move and sound like Mega Man. And then at the same time, it requires you to do that new mechanic so much,
right? Yeah,
that it feels like it's just forcing you to.
Yeah,
and then every bit of difficulty that game has is just defeated by you spending a little bit of currency. And getting health tanks or whatever. Right, like or power. You know.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, oh, I'm gonna this level's gonna be hard. Better buy 10.
I'll just bludgeon my way through it, so it's fine. And obviously, you don't have to. Like, you can just be good.
Right, or you can challenge yourself and be like, I'm not buying any lives. I'm gonna not take any.
But it's there. Yeah. It's in their game. They put it there, so I'm gonna touch on it. Like, yeah. So yeah, Mega Man 11. That's all I really have to say about Mega Man 11. Is that I both like it and don't like it.
I like it. And I felt like it was a good return to form of what Mega Man was, you know, and also advancing it forward, like a new 3D style that hasn't been done before. The new way to approach bosses. The dual gear system's pretty cool. You know.
When you start getting to the dudes that require you to use it, like that's when it's like, ugh. I just like being able to like.
There are levels that you can like. You're like, this is nearly impossible if I didn't have the.
I just like being able to like buster guys down. Like, it's just like, that's how I like Mega Man. But whatever.
All right. I have a.
It's better than Mighty Number 9. So that's all it needed. That's all it needed to do. That's all it needed to do.
You know, I didn't get a chance to play it. The Bloodstain game. Obviously, like I was really excited about it, but I didn't get a chance to play that. I've been playing a little bit of Dead Cells. It's like the first time I really liked a roguelike game in a while. So I kind of I picked it up for PS4 on the disc, and then it went on sale on the Xbox. So I went ahead and so now I bought it twice. So that's one I'm really having a good time with that. Like I like the concept of especially how they explain away like saving your progress and, you know, the time loop kind of thing going on there. So I think that's a really fun game. And a really good time, and I definitely recommend people check out Dead Cells. It's also on the Switch, so that's kind of another reason why I like it.
I think on the Switch is where I want to be on that one.
I'm not. That's kind of one like I think I'm going to pick up I think there's a physical copy on the Switch. I think it even kind of that's where I would like to play that. All right, I don't think I have. Oh, I have one more honorable mention. I'm going to roll it all into one. PlayStation VR.
PlayStation VR is.
I'm rolling it all into one. All into one. So
sure.
Well, so they did the bundles this year, right, for Black Friday, and they reduced the price down, right?
Sure.
And on top of reducing the price down, they put good games out. You had Moss, which is the one where you're controlling a little mouse, and you're kind of like, you know, that one was amazing. Astrobot, where you're playing as a little robot, and you're kind of doing like the same thing, but with a robot. then Beat Saber,
Beat
which we
Saber's
loved.
the high tier,
Everyone loves Beat Saber. The only reason I didn't put that on my game of the year list is because it is a fucking
narrow.
workout and it requires a thing. You know,
You have to have a ton of space. You have to have like not a toddler running next to you,
exactly.
so you don't like brain him.
You have to be able to put a fucking helmet on and play distracted for fucking hours at a time.
You're gonna get sweaty.
Yeah, exactly.
There's distinct downsides to that.
Right. So and then with PlayStation VR going cheaper, it made it easier. Most of these games you can pick up for sub $20 now. On sale. And then like the game that really like did it for me is Tetris Effect. And like I tell everyone, like you've seen that game, like you could watch a video of it, but when you play it, it's just basically like EDM Tetris with like cool visualizations
Yeah,
and
Tetris,
everything.
but it's in your brain,
and it's fucking sweet. It's really great. I sat there and I played it for about an hour and a half, just straight playing just Tetris, just like just kind of chilling and relaxing, enjoying it. Yeah, that guy every night. It's not even fucking like he's late. He's usually about here around 10:30.
You figure we'd fucking get around it because we're fucking doing it late, but whatever. Jeez.
He doesn't come in that often. When he doesn't come through. So the
leaf blower.
Yeah, there's a guy out there cleaning the parking lot. But Tetris Effect, I recommend it. It was on sale for $20. I recommend, like, it's fine up to $30, $40.
Oh, I do have one more on.
What you got?
World of Warcraft, Battle for Azeroth. So that,
wow, classic when it comes out.
Yeah, well, so that's the issue. Big ups.
Big Josh.
I played so much World of Warcraft this year, man.
If you put the time in, you put the time in.
Played a lot, but holy shit, does Battle have problems?
Oh, I forgot MTG Arena. Woo.
that
it's not
exists.
bad.
Yeah, but it's also bad. So
fix it.
Yeah, but yeah.
Every time it patches, you have to download it again.
I think I talked pretty at length as to like what the problems with that was in previous.
That's fine.
But like, it's still WoW, and it's still like you get to level up and like fresh leveling, like. Dude, every time
play a shitty character,
fresh
level them up.
Fresh leveling is so good, man. Like new content is so good in WoW. Like
I guess you get a new skill tree stuff.
Yeah, dude. Like it's always fun. The Azerite system is fucking fine. You know what I mean? Like,
I judge.
It's honorable mention. Like,
I tease WoW a lot because it's a game that you're on that pay treadmill and
Yeah, that's true. All right, you want to get to the meat?
All right, you want to do number 5? Let me go first on the number 5 here.
Yeah.
My number 5 is Red Dead Redemption 2.
Okay.
The reason why it's my number 5 is that game is long as balls and I have not finished it. So
but you like it enough.
I like it enough to put up there, and I've done enough watching other people play it on streams and videos and story analysis and like all that kind of stuff that I can do without actually playing it. And I'm really excited about it. I'm really happy about it. Like, I know that's a game that when I finish it, I'm going to be like, yeah, that was an experience. That was really good. So what do you have for number 5?
My number 5 is also the 5th installment in a game. It's
Soul Calibur 5.
No, Far Cry 5.
Far Cry 5? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
with the crazy cultists in Montana where they blow up with the canonical ending now that if the new game is believed that they blew up the world.
They blew up the world. So it's because of that ending that I like. Otherwise, like I think that it's just a fairly polished Far Cry. It follows the exact same system that it always has, except having those companions is really good. Cheeseburger was my favorite. Obviously, I loved having Cheeseburger.
Okay.
If you didn't play, he's a big old bear that you just get to pal around with. That game's soundtrack I still listen to. I literally just put Far Cry 5 soundtrack on sometimes and just listen to it because it's really decent. I just and that ending feels real good. Like I don't know why like it speaks to me so much. But yeah, Far Cry 5 is my number 5 for the year.
Okay, all right. Let's see. I don't think I have anything else to say about Far Cry. I was looking real quick to see if there's anything. I don't know. That was one like I still haven't gotten to the Far Cry series. Every time I try to play them, I'm like, oh yeah, that plays like this.
Yeah. It's this game, and it is. Yeah.
All right.
They don't deviate far from their
pattern
that they've established.
Yep. All right. You ready for number 4 then? Let's get a hot number 4.
Give it to me.
I got Pokemon Let's Go Eevee/Let's Go Pikachu.
I like it. I respect that at number 4.
Yeah, that is a game that like.
Now I feel bad for not even putting it on honorable mention.
I thought it might be on your list, but yeah. I mean, so you can gush about it here a little bit. So, it's just Generation 1 Pokemon. I feel
like it hits the nostalgia points. Got a great soundtrack. The new stuff's great.
Right, it's innovative. It's fun.
It doesn't waste your
clever.
time.
It respects your time. It is a long game. It is a kind of a grind. I got to the point like halfway through. I'm like, I'm done with this. I know where this is going. I know what it is. But like, there's a lot of times I think about myself playing that game, and I know that I had a big giant grin on my face just from seeing the way the Pokemon look and the way. Being able to ride on an Arcanine,
them actually existing in that world where you exist,
walking around like how you would see them.
Yeah,
the going with the Pokemon, the integration with Pokemon Go, the integration, being able to put those two different games together and make something fun. Bringing
half of the novelty too is it just being on the Switch.
Right, and being able to play it on the go. I know that a lot of people don't like using the Joy-Cons to throw stuff, but putting
it's definitely the worst way to play it, but it's still fun.
Putting the co-op elements in there where you
I never did it. Like I wanted to, but like I never got to play it co-op with anybody.
Right. And then putting the shinies in Gen 1 and people just being excited about the shinies and the game never really like punishes you,
Yeah. It does.
Oh,
those fucking ace trainers later that that's where that game falls off for me is like trying to fucking if you're trying to 100% that game, you're pretty
right. But I'm just saying, like getting through the main story and going and try to catch, do the majority.
If you're playing that game like a sane person, then it's
the majority of the things you're going to do, like the Nuzlocke people and the all those people that they have their own things to say about it because they're doing a different thing than what I'm doing. Picking and like being like there's so much there, like being able to play with Eevee or Pikachu. Making them happy, being able to high five them when you beat a trainer,
it's cute, yeah.
Like
I felt an actual connection to my Pikachu,
like, dressing him up, taking him on a walk.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
I mean that game was great.
He would like those times when like someone would use like toxic or whatever, and then Pikachu would be like he maneuvered to out of the way,
right? Because he loves you and he doesn't want to
see you sad.
Yeah,
you're like
that was like Pikachu. Like Pikachu knew that he was going to die, so it dodged the move so that it didn't die, so you wouldn't be sad.
But it only did that because you were so nice to it.
Right? Exactly. You can give him little berries. It's got like all the great stuff in there.
I do like it. And plus, like the whole all the TM systems gone,
right? They
HM
fixed
systems,
they fixed a lot of that stuff,
and like TMs are reusable. I know they've done that in like more recent Pokemon, like even in like Sun and Moon, like
right. And then like the questing stuff, like you don't have to go back and get the drink; you just handed the drink to the guy. The
streamlines are all nice,
right? And then like just being able to fucking like just go look at like fucking Onix showing up and being fucking huge, not fitting in buildings and shit. Like
riding on Snorlax,
exactly. Like it's fucking all there.
It's good. Yeah, I respected it at that place on your list.
All right, what you got there for number 4?
Number 4, you're not gonna like this, Joey. You're not gonna like my number 4.
I just probably go for it.
That's the issue. Is you really like my number 4.
Oh yeah,
you're just not gonna like that it's at number 4.
I'll tell.
Marvel Spider-Man is at number 4.
So I'll talk about why I like Spider-Man. And you can go ahead.
Yeah. I think Marvel Spider-Man.
And I'll talk more about it later.
Yeah, of course you will. I think Marvel Spider-Man is a really, really solid attempt at being a close to fantastic game. It does.
That game is so many number 7s and number 8s on Game of the Year. Like I saw what I saw.
I was just about to say like that game does everything like 8 out of 10. Like everything about it is just fucking like, 8 out of 10.
There was a couple reviews that are like, "Yep, number 7 on my list too." This game was made to be like a number 7.
Yeah.
But like any other year might be a little higher.
Yeah.
This one still a 7 on
everybody. Still a 7. Yeah. It is a strong, very strong number 4 on my list because it had a good showing, man. That game game is great. It's got a decent storyline. It only has like 2 characters that I hate. Like it's only got like a third of the game, not a third. A third of the missions that are fucking dog shit to do. Those stealth missions with Mary Jane are awful.
Really?
They're awful. They're game-breakingly bad.
They make some decisions there which are like
you have to do them like it like you know what I mean, like they pull the story together, but it's just like I just want to be Spider-Man.
But
like,
the
why
part,
am I
the
Mary
part
Jane?
Where, the part where this is a little bit spoilery, but the part where you're calling in Spider-Man to do shit.
That's the least shitty one.
Right. That's the part that it's building up to. I don't think you could just do that. You know what I'm saying?
When they give her a stun gun, you're like, oh, thank God. Oh my God.
Well, I think the part where she's sneaking around the museum and like trying to find clues, like that part to me,
bad.
like everyone felt like when I got to that, everyone had been complaining about it. I was like, guys, this is like 5 minutes. This is not that bad.
Yeah, but
this is like 5
but then
minutes.
it's like you play Spider-Man again for like 20 minutes, and then there's another Mary Jane mission, and you're like, what the fuck?
It was like 5 minutes.
And then there's
They're
a Mary
both,
Jane mission, and then a Miles mission, and then another Mary Jane mission.
The Miles mission was kind of frustrating because like just because
they shoot him and they don't shoot Mary Jane.
it was a very like, I don't know, it felt like you needed more to do for you to be playing as Miles, but you're just mainly like that could have just been like
and
press
like
A now, press B now,
and like the game's tropey, but like it's fucking Spider-Man. Like like Spider-Man is its own trope genre.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like the things that like it's tropey are super forgivable.
Mm-hmm.
I think Peter's super lovable.
Yeah.
I relate to Peter.
Like exactly, everyone can relate to. Well, not everyone, but the majority of people playing a video game can relate to rent's due.
Yeah.
But you got you didn't pay. It's not that you didn't pay your rent because you don't have the money, which in his case it is because he's tight on money. But well,
it's because he's working for what he believes in.
Right.
You know
He's doing like he's doing charity work. He's got he's helping
scientific
his aunt. He's
benefit
doing
of
work,
the world. Like he
right.
thinks that the bionic thing is going to change the world because it
Right.
would. You know what I mean? Like it.
Right. And then you're trying to get your love life together. You're trying to get your personal shit in order.
Trying to stay a family.
You got to do laundry. When does Spider-Man do laundry? Like Aunt May can do some, but she she can't do it all.
How many times have you been in an actual shit position and then one of your family members gave you $100 and you were like, I can't take this.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I just can't do it. And then what I mean?
Yeah.
They cover that shit. It's in there.
Yeah.
Game's good.
All right.
Not great. But
I'll cover
good.
it more. Let's move on to number 3. I'm gonna shit talk my number 3 just to make you mad.
Yeah.
It's Smash.
Okay.
So Smash is really high on my list. Well, I was originally like going to put it like number 5. But I spent a lot of time playing it.
Yeah.
And not just playing it like how most people play Smash, like playing against other people. No, like I spent a lot of time playing that game like as single player. And like that's where
you were grinding spirit boards,
right? I didn't care about unlocking characters. I didn't care about I did care about unlocking characters,
well, because you want your character.
But I didn't care about like getting there the fastest. I didn't care about whatever. I was like, oh, cool, I can play as Link now, or cool, now I can play as Samus, or now I can play as Zero Suit Samus, or whoever I unlock. Oh, now I can play as Little Mac. I didn't care about unlocking them as fast because I was having a really good time in the single player stuff. World of Light's really good. The Spirit Board is really good.
Joey, I actually spent over 30 hours on World of Light.
I've put not enough in there, but like the fact is you can play through World of Light and unlock all the characters is great. That's how if you want to unlock the game that way, you can do it that way. Mm-hmm. And then like just being able to do the Spirit Board, and then a lot of the changes they made in there to
and then you can use the spirits that you got in Spirit Board on World of Light,
right,
or
exactly,
vice versa.
Exactly, and then
really fucking strong.
Being able to like if you fail out of a new challenger, you can go back and refight them without having to worry about it. The way they dole out the fighters basically every 10 minutes, of game time
makes things feel fresh.
You always feel like you're making some progress, and because there's 70 something characters unlocked,
and then like seeing one of the characters that resonates with you is exciting.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and then there's so many stages, so many remixes. There's so much freaking music. Well, like I laughed in the direct when they were like, you can plug your headphones into it and turn the thing off and listen to it. I was like, why would I ever want to do that? And then like I got into that soundtrack.
There's real music in there.
I was like, holy shit! Like I'm not going to do what they said, but like I can see a reason for a person wanting to do it.
If you were like on like a long drive, you could do that.
Yeah, it
wouldn't be unreasonable.
Put in my fucking Smash playlist. I'm gonna hear this fucking dope bloody
like,
tears.
Give me the aux, and I'm gonna.
Yeah, you want to hear the Snake Man remix? It's fucking cool. Like that game has so much good music.
I don't remember the Gangway Galleon or Gangplank Galleon.
Gangplank Galleon with the fucking trumpets like
dude,
that.
That's the best.
I did that remix has really turned a corner for that song for me. Like I was like, oh yeah, it's the fucking King K. Rool song. Who the fuck cares? The only good song is Aquatic Ambience.
Yeah, Aquatic Ambience is the highest tier, but now it's Gangplank Galleon.
It used to be Aquatic Ambience, DK Rap, and the original Donkey Kong song, and then.
Well, you only like Aquatic Ambience because we go lay you down.
Yeah, we got that smooth jam version. So I mean that's my number 3 is Smash Ultimate. Like, you know, that
I respect it.
That's
I
a
hard
solid
respect
game.
It.
And then,
I was not expecting it to be that high for you.
I moved it up just because like I thought about like I, you know, it was between like that and like Pokemon, where they would go, and I was like, no, like that's a game that like I'm probably not going to like. Pokemon I'll finish and put it down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Smash, like
you can play until the next Smash comes out.
I'll be playing it off and on until like
you have some bugs. Okay.
No, it's my mustache like poking my nose.
I do like a thing sometime where one of them just goes like up.
That's what's going on. Yeah. Is poking me right in the nose and driving
I got
nuts.
some wild eyebrow hair. Emily was telling me, she was like, your eyebrows are getting kind of nuts. I'm like, I don't know what to do. Yeah.
They're fine now. I mean, it's a game that, like, you know, gonna go back to, going to, you know.
I agree. Yep.
You know, I've dealt with the competitive community, and I don't want anything to do with them. And as long as I don't have anything to do with them, I think I'm gonna have fun with this game.
Yeah.
You know, playing casually, like, you know.
Spoiler, Smash is much higher on my list.
Not much higher to go. All right, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is Dragon Ball FighterZ.
You know, that was one of I knew you were going to talk about it, so I didn't put it in my honorable mentions.
So
that is actually the game because you and I played it so much here for, you know, for funsies.
Yeah,
like it's actually like the most time spent in game is that.
Oh,
just because it's been on.
Yeah, yeah. As far as like tag team, and like I don't really, I spoke at length a lot about FighterZ over the course of the
I know.
year.
Shut up,
because it came out really early.
Yeah, that's another one. Like I said,
so it came out like roughly the same time as Monster Hunter World, which didn't even fucking get an honorable mention for me because
that's a game like it's
not for me.
It's not for me, and I don't want to talk ill of it.
I don't either because like a lot of people love that game.
I will tell you is the things I don't like about that game, and I can't because I didn't play it because I know I'm not.
It's the grind the game. Which is fine, and a lot of people like that, but whatever.
A lot of people like it. I'm not going to shit talk it.
Dragon Ball FighterZ, man, is the definition of minimalism, working for the better.
Right.
Like that game is. They're like this is the moveset. These are the characters we used. Basically hand drawn stuff. You know, it's not really hand drawn stuff, but you know what I mean. Like that game is like 3 gigs. Like, like anything can run it. You can put it on.
Right. I mean, well, because it's, you know, like it's not complex 3D models, like, or anything like that. Like it's not like.
And then, the competitive scene for that was really entertaining to watch.
The Sonic Fox.
I was gonna say because of Dragon Ball FighterZ, we now have a spotlight on somebody who is doing a lot of good in gaming.
Yeah.
He's the best in the world.
Yeah.
And it's translating to other games and like,
right.
You know, it's like bringing to light like some of like the like weird stuff that happens in like the competitive gaming community as far as like the LGBT community is concerned. And so like,
oh no, that the fighting game community has always been historically the worst.
Yeah,
for everything. For everything.
Yeah,
everything. Will you name a problem with gaming? The fighting game community invented it.
They harbor it there.
They invented
and
it.
And like that bleeds into like, you know, like MOBAs and that kind of thing. Like anything really competitive.
Because it started there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so for me, like, you know, I know enough about Dragon Ball Z to know who the characters are and a little bit of the stories, and so you know, that game it very much it knows who's playing it. It knows
it does.
It knows that if you're going to, you know, when you do a super, knocking someone into a mountain, you know how that's supposed to look. It knows how it's supposed to play. You know what, you know, they know like there's certain characters that if they face against other certain characters that the dialogue needs to reflect their past and their history and things like that, and certain levels.
Getting the original voice actors,
right,
and the Japanese voice actors,
right, and then, you know, getting like and making sure that like the characters move, feel, and, you know, animate the way that the show does, because that you could, you know, like that was kind of like my problem with like some of the 3D Dragon Ball fighters. You're like, oh, like you shouldn't have taken a 2D character and made him 3D because
every time that a Simpsons or Futurama character looks directly at the camera,
you're like,
yeah, I agree. I think that the medium that it exists in is perfect for it, and the development team has been really, really good about pushing out updates
Right.
and keeping things pretty level.
Right.
Like Cell, come on, let's. Oh, and then the big downside is, what the fuck, Toei?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, fucking most watched game, most participated game of Evo, and now we can't play it anymore? Like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah. They just I think that's the same. They were having the same Nintendo thing of just like
Well, Toei Animation has always been
a big disconnect between what the fans want and what the fans expect from them and what they think is going on.
I think legitimately they just think that their cut of the pie is not big enough.
it could be that too. Like Nintendo had that problem too, where they just had to be like look, if you want to kill this game, you're gonna kill it, but you're also gonna kill, like you're not gonna breed ill will with the fans, but there's certainly like you're turning away money. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like all the there's a lot of silk shirts left to print. That, and one of the other things I would say is like that game, like it could have been, there's so many reasons and so many ways that could have gone wrong.
Yeah.
It could have been lazily done, but I don't think they took any shortcuts and took any lazy way out on that game. Like you could have been, oh, it's a 3v3 fighter, here you go.
9 characters.
There you go.
Yeah.
Who cares? But no, and then like, the new character, the new Android 21, right?
Yep, that was going to be the other thing, is that the inclusion of Toriyama with the design of a new character, him designing the storyline for her as well, and making it feel canon.
Right, exactly. There's something new there for fans to come to and to latch onto. Does that get brought into the bigger, saga?
Yeah, maybe we see her in Super or something.
Right.
Who knows?
She was pretty cool. Like, I liked her, and like, being able to like, see Big Nips Broly getting added in and people playing it, and and like the game was generally fun to watch. Fun to watch, fun to play.
That tier or like the skill ceiling on that game, man, is really,
and it was
really
definitely
high.
a game you could just jump in and have fun with too.
You could, yeah. They did a good job.
They had the easy combo. They had the easy combos for schlubs like me.
Yeah, even if you're just like mashing X, like you're like, oh yeah, that looked cool.
Yeah. Cool. I did something.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm supposed to be doing. Okay, let me learn how to do that and fix it.
Plus, they approached like grinding combos the right way.
Yeah.
Like they had like a whole system for learning how to do like what we would consider, like the pro plays or whatever.
I mean, I will kind of give them some shit, that menu system and the little chibi world thing.
You don't like it?
It's cute and all, but like
it's a bit obnoxious. I don't know if you knew this, but
I just want to go to local play.
Also, you can push the shoulder button and it'll bring a list and you'll just teleport to it instead of having.
But you still teleport to it. You don't just start doing it.
Yeah, that's true.
And some of the things aren't as intuitive. You're like, oh, is this here or is this here?
Yeah.
Why do I need all the Zenny? Like, it is. What unlocked? What did I unlock? Oh, I gotta go dig through 6 menus to figure out.
Yeah, I mean, like at least it's like you get palette swaps through earning them and not having to pay for them. Capcom,
yeah,
or looking at an advertisement, whatever.
We didn't mention that game
because it doesn't deserve to be mentioned.
All right, So let's move on. What are we on? Number 2s?
Yeah, you're on your number 2.
I want to hear your number 2 because then we can book into. Maybe your number 2 is
my number 2.
Yeah. Poop. Number 2.
God of War.
Really? Oh wow, that is also my number 2.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Fallout 76 took it, huh? All right. So this game, I'm surprised. So that maybe I don't know what your number 1 is then.
Yeah. Yes, you do.
Wait, we already talked about it. Yeah, I gave you shit about that earlier. So it overtook this. I didn't think it would. Okay, so God of War, like that is
what a fucking masterpiece.
That is the first time I've cared about Kratos.
Me too.
I've always hated him. He's been obnoxious,
one-dimensional,
like sex minigame, fucking
total Chad,
fucking like cool, like you're mad because you killed your own family, idiot.
Yeah.
Like I never really liked the character. Like and like there's been like, going back, that's definitely me being like very dismissive of the story and they were trying to tell, but that's always the way I felt about it.
It was one-dimensional then still. Like even playing them now, like you're like, well, I mean, like I can see the appeal because like combos are fun to do.
Yeah,
and,
the combos are fun and
the
fighting big bosses.
There, you know what I mean? Like, you get the gore, you get the the kills and stuff, and like Kratos is a legitimate badass.
Okay.
But
there's
nothing there.
Yeah. So like I mean like in this one, the taking the story and this is especially why I love too, because one, you've taken Kratos and his Greek Roman mythology and taken him out and put him into Norse mythology. And that's a whole different ballpark. The possibilities, your mind just, as soon as they do that, your mind's like, holy shit.
Yeah,
we can go anywhere.
Yeah.
We could go fucking ancient Egypt. We can go Atlantis. We can go, this other mythology,
there's
pagans,
something along,
Aztecs, Mayans,
there's something along the lines of 3,000-ish recorded gods.
Right, exactly. We can
history.
go anywhere with this. This is insane.
Yeah.
Like, you're never going to touch Christianity, Judaism, or Islam, but, or Hinduism.
You probably can't touch those.
Right. You're not going to touch the major players. But
religions that are still active and collecting money,
right.
you probably can't.
But the possibilities are endless. You know what I'm saying? This isn't about, like, and so, but the story of, of Kratos coming to having to be a dad when he doesn't know how to be a dad.
Yeah, he's definitely,
he knows how to be a god. He knows how to be a servant, not a servant, a go do this as a god guy. Like, you're a god, go solve this problem.
Yeah, he knew how to be a killer.
Yeah, exactly.
And he knew how to be a badass, and that's not what fatherhood is.
Right.
So he's becoming, you're literally watching a character become three-dimensional.
Right, exactly.
Or multi-dimensional even.
Right, exactly. So, like where he's telling Atreus, like, when he's taking him hunting and to understand, like, the importance of hunting, and then when he's, teaching him different combat techniques and, like, just, and how to be careful and do puzzle solving, and, he's very hard on Atreus at times, but, and
I think, like, even the duality of that character, like, having to first understand that, like, he is still at his core a monster. Like,
right.
he's something. He was a weapon.
Well, he wasn't ready.
Yeah, he was a weapon, and now he has to dull his edges in order to make his son, like, less. You can't hurt your son with who you are. Like, you've got to, like, forge him. You know what I mean? Like,
Kim Pachi says Kratos versus Jesus 2030 confirmed. So
yo.
I forgot to tab back over to the chat, so sorry if I was late on that. But I mean, like, the story, yes, he does have to figure out, like, there's times where Atreus is visibly upset, and he doesn't know how to deal. He has to learn.
And then also, like, keeping this giant secret from your son, and also, like,
exactly.
knowing that you're gonna have to.
Right. Well, there's, like, and exactly.
Like, there's no way around it.
How do you explain? How do you explain to spoiler alert, like, this is, like, it's not really a spoiler, but, like. Yeah. Like, yes, Atreus is the son of a god. So guess what? That means he's going to be a god someday, and that, like, he has to learn how to be a god, and then also, what that entails.
Yeah, what it entails is the bigger problem. Like, what do you mean you were a god? What does that mean to me? Like, who were you in the past? What have you done?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then, like, having to, you have to now, like, expose.
Yeah.
Your greatest secrets. Like, yes, I existed before you. There was things that I've done that I'm not proud of.
The reason why I live this quiet life is that I don't want to go back to that. I don't want that for you,
And now, because that we're doing this great thing and having you become a man, like, literally in front of me, like, dealing with, like, the fucking death of your mother.
Right. Exactly. Like I said,
coping with that, and then doing her final wishes.
Right.
And then learning of your lineage.
Yeah.
And then,
well, his lineage is crazy on both sides.
Yeah, well, that's the thing with her. Is
right, yeah. Well, I'm not going to spoil too much of that, but
it's a lot to handle, and, like, visually speaking, the game is a masterpiece.
Right, like, it looks great, and that whole one long take, that that everything shot is one long take. It looks great, and then, like, all the realms that you go to look differently. All the characters are real, one or two here or there, kind of like, well,
sure,
whatever. But, like, Baldur looks fucking like holy shit.
Jormungandr, like, the first time Jormungandr, like, fucking snakes around, and, like,
exactly,
the scope of it, you're like, what the fuck?
Exactly, yeah,
like,
yeah. And
I love it. And Mimir is super entertaining,
and the stories you get from Mimir, like, you're on the boat, and you're like, I'm gonna stay here. Like, the story's gonna go, but I want to stay here.
Let Atreus and Mimir hash this out.
Right, but even if you cut it off, the way the game smartly comes back to it,
it does. It addresses that pretty well.
The score is pretty fucking good.
Yeah,
like, I sat and listened to memories of Freya. Like, just listen to it. I was like, oh man, this was really good.
Yeah,
I definitely felt
it's like pretty authentic as far as Norse mythology.
I mean, and then
obviously Kratos is bludgeoning his way through it, but I mean, like, there's still nods to, like, actual what they believe.
Right, and then the like you know, I forgot to talk about the music in Red Red Red. There's some really good tunes in there.
There's good tunes
and
in Red Dead.
good music. But
I also like how you peel a rabbit in one move. Whatever.
Yeah, with God of War, you know, and then you know you have the axe, so you know, and it feels when you throw it and you bring it back to you, it feels right. It feels like you can get lost kind of in that combat. It is different being, you know, having it on the shoulders and stuff like that. But
yeah, I like that, like kind of
Dark Soulsy.
I hate the people.
But that's what the biggest game playing.
It feels a lot of Dark Soulsy. I know this is a little spoilery, but like it's game of the year. So
yeah.
The fucking scene when you fucking unwrap your arms and you get the
yeah,
dude,
yeah.
Dude,
you're like because throughout the thing he's always like
he's got him covered.
He's got him covered. He does him back.
He always he always like doesn't want to expose it to a trace. Like he doesn't want him to see that past.
Yeah.
And like what those blades represent.
Yeah.
And then it's like you have to now.
Yeah.
I mean? Like you have no other choice but to don who you were and to like. Man.
It goes to Sparta, right? Returns, right? Exactly. It's so good. Like it kind of this game kind of goes back and makes those other games better.
Yeah, it does. It retroactively it fucking
like that wasn't just a bunch of piddly bullshit. You guys went back and made that relevant.
Hype shit. Yeah, those atrocities are legitimate now. Yeah.
I mean, you should really definitely like check out the live action trailer for Ascension. Where like he's lifting up his daughter and she turns to ash.
I don't remember Ascension very well.
But it was just a trailer where he picks up his daughter and she turns to ash.
Yeah.
It's fucking great.
Does the ash like adhere to him too?
Like he's just like it all sticks to him and then
that's why his skin's white.
Yeah. So anyway, that game's fucking good. It's gone on sale for $20. Yeah, multiple times.
Holy shit, $20! You are fucking robbing someone. So that's
the game. Like and like here's the deal. The reason why this is not my number one for me is that my number one game is the game I can recommend to any single person. You know,
I feel the same way.
Like I know no problems. I feel like from the history of that game, where it came from, what happened between, like I'll talk about that in a minute for it. But like
I'm a little in the dark at what.
No, you know what my number one is, but like think about what game they compared it to constantly. Is it like this game? And then everything from that game to this game. You know what I'm saying? We'll talk about it in a minute. Anyway, but it is what you think it is. Okay. But with God of War, you know, that's a game where you're like, oh well, you know,
it's a little bit contingent upon playing previous games,
right? Well, not even that, but like,
it's also very mature.
It's very mature, very violent. There's a story that like it might not be for everyone.
It's also like difficult.
Like, it's kind of hard.
Like, kind of punishes you.
Like, you know, exactly. You know, it's not a game you can pick up. You can just pick up and play, or put down and pick up and play again.
Yep.
Like if you put that game down, you're gonna spend an hour.
Like, what the fuck was I doing?
Like, oh yeah, the attacks are on the shoulders, and I got to tell Atreus to attack here.
You can switch it. You can go back to old school God of War controls if you want.
But you
feels gross.
But you would have to. You'd have to think about
relearn too.
Yeah. So where am I in the story? Oh yeah, I forgot. You know, it is 40 hours of of that. So that's why that's not higher on my list. It would potentially be up.
God of War was up until until December 7th.
All right, so let's go into your number one. We'll talk about your number one.
My number one is Smash Brothers.
Your number one is Smash Bros. Is there anything you want to say about Smash Bros?
Yes. So apart from like I actually do belong to the competitive scene. I understand that like a lot of that stuff is like not your cup of tea. But the amount of hours that I've gotten to spend with my friends, like we all have really busy lives. You know what I mean? Like we're adults now. We don't have the time to sit around and like grind every day like we used to. Right. But like we make time to play this game and to learn this game. And like I have gotten to see people more than I have in the past because of this. And you know this too because you were there. The night we were all waiting in line for Smash. There was not a frown amongst.
No, everyone was excited. Everyone was
200-300 people.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, everybody had their Switches out. Everybody was playing Pokemon Go. They're like when the Joker announcement hit, it spread like wildfire through the line.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like that kind of feeling is so unique and it's so rare. Like you just don't feel like when Pokemon Go came out. Like I know I'm not a part of Pokemon Go, but it felt like that.
Yeah. No, that game was like on fire.
When there was just a general consensus that everybody was fucking pumped.
Mm-hmm.
And like people were like, what if this character? What if that character?
Right.
You know
Well, this is the number one selling game on Amazon.
Yeah.
The number one selling
For
game.
this year.
For the year with less than a month. Not even a full month.
Yeah.
And it was the number one selling game.
And then like the amount of ways
And also
that you
on
can,
one system.
yeah, it's not a multi-platform system.
Not even the one that's been out the longest either.
But and like the amount of ways that you can play it, you know what I'm saying? Like I mean, obviously, like if you're not playing
GameCube controller,
you're probably not hanging with the boys.
It's fine.
But you can play Pro Controller, you can play Joy-Con, you can play double Joy-Con, you can play
exactly
those weird wireless GameCube controllers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like you can play it on the Switch. You know what I'm saying? Like it
Yeah,
feels
you can play
like
it.
trash, but you can do it.
I've done it. I played it.
I have too.
Handheld mode. It's
I've
fine.
absolutely pooped and played Smash Bros.
Fine.
Yeah. Like just like the satisfaction that I've got from like learning Smash Brothers again, and like
No, I've seen a ton of people like just talking about like I hear people talking about tilt smashing and tilting, you know, to neutral airs and you know
like what kind of controller setup
Yeah,
you use.
exactly.
Like, I'm always
hear-
trying to improve.
I hear
like,
people. I hear people talking about that more than I have in other
Yeah.
Smash. And like I thought, like Smash 4 was like the pinnacle of hearing people talk about that stuff when Smash 4 came out. But now hearing it again on Ultimate, even
well, because like triple the
more,
amount of people
yeah.
own Switches than they do Wii U.
it's
So,
super
like,
weird,
yeah.
like right. So out last time too. So
yeah. So I think that Smash Brothers just has this unanimous, like kind of overarching glue that binds gamers together. Like, it's not competitive. It's super competitive.
Right.
Like, it's got the best soundtrack by a wide margin.
Yeah.
By a wide margin.
I mean, to be fair, you know,
It's borrowing from everyone. So
Yeah.
like it's fair.
best
you know what I'm saying?
soundtrack Death Dance 2019 because it got all those bangers in it. You know.
But yeah, like that's like it just hits every note that I need a game to hit.
Mhm.
And like I just can't say enough about how close it's brought my friends together.
Yeah.
Like I got to spend time. I know you weren't drinking, but I got to spend time at a bar with you.
Because we were playing
Brothers.
Smash. Yeah.
Like, granted, it was for work, but like,
Yeah.
we got to hype a bunch of people up. Like, people
No,
who
we
didn't
had a
give a
good time,
shit
yeah.
about Smash were walking up and playing with us.
Exactly, and it was
Like-
a good time. And then that's the thing is like, you know, that's what moved Smash up on my list.
Yeah.
Is like seeing people who weren't competitive, who were just there to have fun, and like just hearing people talking about the fun that they were having playing Smash,
And then people
or
who
having
were
played
absolute
Smash in the
garbage,
past.
like people were,
right, exactly, like
and they were still having a great time.
You know, I walked up and one girl was like, I don't know how to play, and I showed her how to play, and I was like, well, who do you want to pick? She's like, I don't know, I really like Yoshi, and she picked Yoshi, and you know, she was just excited that she didn't get knocked out first.
Yeah.
You know, and just seeing that and like having watching a person have a really good time with it. You know, you can see like, you know, in the past, like the Smash community has really soured me on the game, and I'm still kind
It's
of
fair.
And like I've just learned just to ignore that part of the community. I don't need to be part of the much
don't.
like I did Street Fighter. I don't need to be part of that competitive.
That's an
scene.
excellent point too, is that
You know?
you can exist in your own little microcosm of Smash. Like if you
Right.
and your friends literally just want to go, man, what do you think the dopest combination of spirits can possibly
exactly
be? Like
with that
I
spirit
watched,
thing and the events coming up with the events where they're adding new shit, like new spirits to fight, like, and that's a new challenge, and like it's frustrating and in a good way. You know, you always feel like, well, I never feel like I'm bad at Smash. I feel like, oh well, I just don't have the right combination of spirits to beat this particular setup.
Yeah.
I know that I can beat this if I have the right setup and I have enough luck and skill on my side.
dude, the thing in the story mode, why am I blanking on what that's called?
World of Light.
World of Light. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ. I'm so hyped on Smash.
Also, the stupid fucking theme song with lyrics.
I love how goofy that is.
Yeah, like these lyrics are
A
weird.
fire, a flame. Yeah, like it's like
Whatever.
Yeah, I know how fire
Thanks.
works. But dude, the fucking scene where you go to like Castlevania World,
Yeah,
and it's like,
yeah.
and it's Dracula's castle, and you get to go up it.
The
and,
Mega Man EXE shit is fucking stupid.
It's so
and like,
good.
I'm like, what the
I
fuck?
fucking had a giant smile on my face the whole time I was
Right,
doing
so
it.
there's a lot of fan service in the spirit. Like, I feel like like a lot of people were upset about like the spirits, and everyone was like, "Fuck a spirit, I don't care about that." But now, like seeing it, you're like, "Holy!" The people who made this, they didn't like. Some of them feel
so much.
they
love.
feel kind of like, yeah, okay, that kind of whatever. Like
but then the good ones.
the
are like,
someone like, "Holy crap, you guys really thought about this, and you really put a lot of effort into it." You know?
and also like it spawned like this like weird amount of creative content.
Yeah,
Like I saw a video the other day where someone was like, I'm trying to get the single most amount of damage out of one attack I can possibly get with spirits.
yeah.
And what they came up with was if you do the spirit board right
Uh-huh.
and you get like the plus critical move, like the
Yeah,
critical
yeah.
plus,
Yeah.
and then you also get two or one of the spirits that makes you a giant.
Yeah.
And then the sub spirit that also is a critical plus.
Yeah.
They got a crit with Ridley's Downbee, that like tail spike thing.
Yeah.
It hits for like 139%. Like
right, but you would never like playing the game. You never experience that unless you're in the stupid mode. You have to dig
so deep.
Yeah,
and that's the kind of shit that like I think Smash Brothers is doing perfectly. And that's why Smash is my game of the year.
So, all right. I mean, like, I really like Smash, and like I said, that's why I moved up so much.
I'm really surprised that it's number 3 for you. So, like,
I mean, like, you know, you really only had to overtake Pokemon. Let's go.
That warms the cockles of my heart.
The problem is that Pokemon Let's Go is a one and done kind of thing.
Yeah.
So my number one is like I'm not going to try to sell you on this game being a perfect game. Like, you know, there are better games for most people underneath it, but you know, my love of it's Spider-Man, Marvel Spider-Man. My love of Spider-Man going back to when I was reading the comics in middle school and junior high, you know, has always brought me to Spider-Man games, both good and bad. And so that's what I was saying. Like this game could, like, you know, this game, like when you think about good Spider-Man games, everyone thinks about Spider-Man 2. You know, based on the movie. And then, like, that was the first question everyone asked, how's the swinging on 2? And, like, you know, is this one swinging like 2? And the swinging in this game, as soon as you pick up, you know, they add the stupid, cheesy swelling of music, and then, like, but it happens.
The motion blur is, like, really
but
fucking
it happens
perfect.
In that game. You feel like you're Spider-Man. And that's, you know, I know that's hyperbole,
but whatever.
But you really feel like you're you get a feeling of being Spider-Man swinging through New York. And
it certainly does it. Like if there was going to be a superhero game that was trying to like actually, I know because like Donkey shit on the phrase, but
yeah,
but like if there's something that like is trying to get you to like embody the character,
yeah,
it's definitely web slinging around.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, like Red Dead, you know, you play as Arthur, and you can. That's a deeply engrossing story about, you know, one man, and you know, you're definitely, there's a lot of people who talk about how they love
man versus environment.
They loved Arthur, and they loved embodying that character and stuff like that. But like with Spider-Man, it just makes him so relatable. Like trying to like one of the best moments is when like you need a place, you get evicted from your house, and you're like trying to chase down all these garbage trucks to get your shit, and you get all your shit together, and you're like, holy shit, I don't have anywhere to stay tonight.
Yeah.
Do I call my aunt and tell her I got evicted from my house? You know,
which causes her to worry more about me?
Worry more about it. Do I go try to stay at work? You know, and do I get busted at work and they ask why am I not paying my bills?
Yeah.
Or, you know, do I message my ex-girlfriend Mary Jane, and you know, he's like texting her like, oh, can I stay on your couch tonight? Like, and he's talking to himself like how not to sound like an idiot.
Yeah.
And you know, like, and it kind of
it's very human.
And you can relate to that, and you know, it's well acted, and like, you know,
you can't relate to being a cowboy.
Right. Some degree. And you know, the
I mean, you can, but then you're probably not like talking about video games.
You know, obviously they mocap people's, you know, the actors' faces, and there's some points where they look kind of rough. But it's
Peter's eyes do a weird thing every now and then.
But that's because you know, it's an uncanny valley.
It's realistic, so it's weird.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know, the story is super tropey. But it's a comic book story, and it's a really
have you ever read a comic book that wasn't tropey?
You're like, holy shit! Oh, Spider-Man versus the Sinister Six. You know, like I wonder who you know. But the villains, all their stories lines make sense about why they're doing what they want to do, and you know. I don't want to spoil it, but like,
yeah, it's hard to because like some of the best shit in that game is super fucking spoiler.
Right, and some of the things, like, you know, they don't pay off some of the storylines even in the DLC, from what I've heard.
Yeah, I haven't played the DLC.
I heard that they don't pay off the ones you think they're gonna pay off. So but and then like, you know, there's other storylines that do pay off. You're like, oh man, I can see that. I can understand, like, you know, when you meet Doc Ock in there, he's working hard on doing good in the world. You know, he's trying to
good intentions,
trying to make prosthetic limbs, for people who've lost their limbs, and he's, you know, trying to work with veterans, but he can't get the funding, and Norman Osborn's there like fucking him over, you know. And you know, there's you know, you're trying to help Harry by doing all his science experiments for him, you know. There's the part where you play as Miles Morales, and so you're learning about like the next Spider-Man, you know, who's going to be the next Spider-Man, and you know, Aunt May's working, you know, trying to do good in the world by working at a homeless shelter. Well, it's a homeless shelter.
Yeah, it's a homeless shelter.
And
it's more than a homeless shelter,
right? And then
it's like a homeless shelter like / job career center.
Yeah, exactly. And then and then the other thing is like so much of the fan service in that game, like, and they even acknowledge like how bullshit some of it is, like, because you're finding all the backpacks.
Yeah.
And he's like, good thing I want all those backpacks.
Yeah. I want a lifetime supply of back. I didn't cash the check, but
I got these backpacks. And like they put the fan service there, and it's very quick. It's not dwelling on it. It's not like, and the costumes that you get, the Kimpachi said this boot up smash on the other TV. So the backpacks, like, they're quick. They talk about moments, they talk about little things, and it's not like buried down in there. The costumes they don't dwell on why you're punk rock Spider-Man.
It's just available.
It's there. The combat is very familiar because it's basically Batman, but like the upgrade systems are fun. The gadgets are fun.
Being able to customize
the suit. You can get whatever suit. You can wear whatever suit you want and put whatever power from whatever suit you want. And that's
brilliant. Yeah,
that's like, okay, we know you want to be Spider-Man. The photo mode, it can be really fun. I've seen some fucking fun ass pictures coming out of that photo mode.
Also seen some really good memes.
Right, it seems some really fun stuff. Like, being kidnapped. Hey,
Uncle Ben.
Hey, Uncle Ben. Yeah. hanging with my unks.
Street performer Spider-Man.
Spider-Man being on the train for fast travel.
I love that when he's in Spider-Man garb on the train, and then there's the guy who's looking at him like,
what? Spider Cop, the fake Spider-Man. There's so much in that game. And and it's a game that, like, this is why I was like really pushing for it. It's like, you can put it down and you can go back to it. And like, you might have to like catch up on the story for like 2 or 3 minutes, but the game isn't like contingent upon you remembering that.
Yeah. I definitely like would put it down, and then like later in the day I'd be like, man, I just kind of want to fucking web sling for like 20-30 minutes, and like I'd just zip around and be like, yeah, it felt really good.
And so like, nothing against like it's Insomniac that made it, right?
Yeah.
So nothing against Insomniac, but because they have the ability to make good games, and like but it is very easy for a product, a licensed product like this, especially a Spider-Man product that is hit or miss. Like, I enjoy Web of Shadows, I enjoy Edge of Time, but there's a lot of people who did not enjoy those Spider-Man games, and they don't think of. But there was Spider-Man Friend or Foe. There's
Shattered Dimensions.
Yeah, Shattered Dimensions that people didn't like. Like there's. The Amazing Spider-Man games people didn't like, like
Ultimate Spider-Man, which people like,
right? But there's been so many games like where Spider-Man wasn't done justice and done wrong and done poorly. But this is one that like you can pick up and like, yes, you will have a good time in this. You will swing through the city and you will feel like you're a Spider-Man. You will do missions to be Spider Cop and crack wise and arrest guys on the street by shooting web slings at like
the gadgets are so fun too,
right? Like, and not being in the combat isn't punishing. Yes, you don't get as many crime tokens, but you can get more crime tokens anyway by just doing more of the missions. You don't get like, oh, you didn't perfect that one, so fuck you, And it's a game you can 100% very easily. Like anytime yes, it does the tower unlock thing, and yes, it's kind of cheesy that they're listening into everyone and surveilling everyone, but as soon as you do it, you're like, as soon as you unlock one, you're like, oh, there's a backpack right there. I can go get that backpack, and then I can go do this, and I can do that.
Take 2 pictures, and I can do.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, like, there's so much to do in that game, and so much fun. And like I said, the story is a little bit predictable, but it's a comic book story. Like, what do you expect?
Have you read a Spider-Man book?
Yeah, Spider-Man beats the bad guys, and and the bad guys are who you think they are because they're the same guys they always are. And that's the other thing is they don't beat you up with like origin stories either. They're not beating you over the head with all that stuff.
And like the only like real origin story that like you're getting like a lot of is really harrowing. Like,
Yeah, exactly. It's a good story.
Yeah.
And I didn't think that's what they were doing with the story, but they did it. And I was like, oh, cool. You got that's
well. Actually, you kind of get 2, right?
Yeah,
You get Martin Lee.
Yeah.
Who's a new character,
right?
And then the other one, that's like a main story thing.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah. And so like there's a lot of cool stuff in there. That's why it's my number one. Like I love Spider-Man, and they did a great Spider-Man game, not just a good Spider-Man game.
As I was playing Spider-Man, I very much like kind of thought to myself like I think this is gonna be Joey's.
Yeah, and especially
Joey's ish.
Well, especially because it's a game that like next year, if someone asks, "Is this game any good?" Yes. It's going to consistently be a good game for years to come, and it's going to be a game that you can point to.
It's also T-rated, so you can just like.
That's another reason.
You can be like, yeah, you can give it to a 6-year-old.
Yeah, that's fine. Like, why is it T for teen? Because you beat up bad guys.
Because it's Spider-Man,
and they might be scared of the rhino
heights,
or the scorpion or the vulture from his wings. He's got real creepy feet,
but nobody says fuck.
Exactly. Mary Jane's in her underwear.
Never. Doesn't happen.
I know.
Peter does though.
Yeah.
You get Peter in his underwear.
And that's the other thing. You start the game. He's been Spider-Man for several years, like 8 years, 9 years, something like that.
Yeah, I think it's 8 years.
Yeah. So it is great. And Stanley cameo so good.
He's probably the best mocapped character. Like they really.
They got
like all the divots.
And they also got like the little on the sides a little. Yeah. It's really good. All right. Well, that's game of the year.
You want to do like a quick bonus round?
What you got?
The bonus round is most disappointing game.
Most disappointing? Is it Fallout 76? It's Fallout 76. I
mean, you had high hopes, right? Like
I didn't have high hopes, but I mean,
you collectively, like like the average consumer goes, "Oh, there's a Fallout game that's going to be an MMO." Yeah. I like Fallout. I like MMOs, and then it's just.
Yeah, exactly. Like what happened?
Mostly bad all the way around. So
yeah. I mean, like. Obviously,
plus if you bought a collector's edition, you really hate
$200. $200 bad boy. Yeah, I definitely like can relate to people feeling bad about that. So, I mean, like I think we do this every year, so we'll do it real quick. Like, obviously, next coming up this month in January, we have a new Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe, Mario and Luigi's Bowser's Inside Story, Resident Evil 2, Kingdom Hearts 3, No More Heroes, Travis Strikes Again.
Tales of Vesperia.
Tales of Vesperia, definitive. February we got
Fallout,
Descent,
Crackdown.
What? Fallout?
Not Fallout. Excuse me.
Crackdown.
Far Cry. Fallout.
Far Cry. What was it? Lego Movie, Anthem, Metro Exodus.
Anthem. I'm really pumped for.
Far Cry New Dawn, Dead or Alive 6, Jump Force. In March we got DMC 5, Division 2.
Wait,
Sekiro,
what was it?
Division 2.
Division 2. Okay. Oh, Sekiro. Yeah, Sekiro, man. So pumped.
What's that?
So pumped for Sekiro.
The Steven Universe game. April's got Days Gone, Mortal Kombat. May, you got Rage, new Sonic Racing. Crash in June, Tropico in June. December, which is like everything else. You know, this year we got Dead Island, Yoshi, Doom
Code Vein, which I've been looking forward to for fucking ever. Come out with it. What's wrong with you?
Wolfenstein Youngblood, Biomutants, Control, which is the Remedy game, the Kirby game.
We might actually get fucking Cyberpunk.
Yeah, Cyberpunk. I don't think they haven't said that. Wreckfest, Marvel Ultimate Alliance. You know,
Switch one.
3. Yeah, the Switch one. Like, there's a Final Fantasy remaster right in there somewhere.
Probably.
I mean, those are like, you know, obviously Halo Infinite's in there somewhere. Probably, you know, there's a lot of good stuff. You know, we didn't talk about Hitman 2. Hitman 2 was pretty good this year. Did you like Hitman 1? Play Hitman 2.
Yeah, Hitman 2 was pretty good. Yeah.
Also disappointing as PlayStation Classic. How do you fuck that up? All right, so that's about it. We get to watch EA burn with Anthem. I hope that, for the sake of BioWare, I hope that Anthem is good.
They released a long video yesterday or today that looked really promising.
Okay, well, I hope for
BioWare's sake.
BioWare's sake, it's good. Yeah,
me too. They're already getting enough shit.
Yeah. You know. All right. So obviously this is a no Alf episode, but you can always send us all three of us emails at our names at goldensaucer.net. You can send questions for the podcast at podcast@goldensaucer.net. Let's see what else. I keep meaning to update Instagram. I've been having trouble with video editing. It's really making me mad. Like it's the program I'm using been crashing a lot, so just frustrating.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Whole episode.
I know. Well, the worst part was like I had the wire like right in front of me. I can do this.
Oh, God. It sounds terrible. What are you doing?
Well, because I was like moving my fingers like this.
Oh, yeah. You You can still hear the shit.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, like I said, we're gonna be trying to do new stuff for the new year, get some stuff in there. I need
to get the fucking reps in, y'all. We're trying to be
I need a fucking
this year's resolution, guys, is to fucking podcast
40 episodes.
We're gonna goddamn podcast.
Let me see. I can tell you exactly how many episodes we did this year.
Fucking dank all over your memes.
Oh no dank memes.
I'm gonna dank all over everyone's memes on the
memes.
podcast.
No memes. All right. What was the first month of the year? January.
Yeah, every year.
So this is quite embarrassing. We did 33 episodes out of 52. So yeah, let's do a little math. 63%. So let's try to aim for better.
That's a failing grade.
Let's try to aim for a little better than 63% of the year of episodes. I don't want 100. Fuck no.
Sometimes life gets in the way.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
I feel bad. I feel bad.
48ish.
48ish is. I think like in the mid to high 40s is where we should be shooting.
33 is it's not as bad. It seems bad because it's not a short amount. You know what I'm saying? One episode does do a lot of damage there.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, I like us to at least consistently crack 40. Because like when you think about it, that's almost 3 months off. You know, well, yeah.
Well, so Dutch was born this year.
Yeah.
So
no, like we've had a lot of stuff. You know, like, sickness.
I had a rough medical year.
Yeah,
a real rough medical. You guys want to check this out?
No.
I got a toe surgery.
No. I don't need to put an explicit warning on this thing.
What? It's in a bandage.
Oh no. Don't show the baby. But yeah, I mean, like, so it's Kambaji says Blizzard hell of a year. I mean, Blizzard's still got a lot of work to do too.
You know,
all right. Obviously, you know, send your questions in, talk stuff. Drop a comment on the YouTube video for me to find in a month.
It's just me.
You can also, you know, message me a message on Facebook. That's fine too. Messages on Facebook.
Yeah.
Everyone who's approached me, Jeremy, Kyle, other Kyle, the 5 Kyles.
Yeah.
I appreciate everyone listening to it. You know, Will,
Christy
and Henry and Dutch, the dog. he's got his own.
Probably by proxy.
He uses dog catcher. His podcast. Anyway, I really appreciate everyone listening because this is something we do for fun, and no one's making money here. We're losing money. Not really losing. It's fun.
Well, I mean, if you think about, we're not getting paid for our time.
Yeah.
Time is money.
Yeah, time is money. So MeUndies promo code Saucer. You get your first pair free. Men's Hims. Is it Hims? Is that the one that the erectile dysfunction?
Dollar Shave Club. If you guys are interested.
I have a shockingly large amount of HelloFresh promo codes. I have like 100.
I'm serious. Dollar Shave Club. If you want to come at me,
I need something to get this part right here.
No.
And this part down here.
Look at
that whole thing up there.
Are you fucking kidding me? Like Dollar Shave Club.
Yeah.
Holler at your boy. I need to shave all the time. Like,
I need some tile for my house.
Lowe's. If you're looking to
got that 10% off coupon.
If you're looking to sponsor somebody with some hardwood, like,
yeah. There you go. All right.
Laminate.
No laminate. Only I'll take the tile. Costs the same. It doesn't even have to be good. Don't even have to use travertine. I'll just take ceramic. It's fine.
Ceramic's nice.
Yeah, it's fine. All right. So, that's the end of the episode. Thank you for listening to Game of the Year. Feel free to tell us what your Game of the Year was.
Absolutely.
Or why we're wrong. Tell me why Spider-Man sucks. Because it does. But
yeah, I mean, it sucks, but it's great.
It's
good.
Great.
It's good. It's very good.
It's fine.
It's good.
It's good enough.
Yeah. It's no Smash Brothers.
Nothing is.
Nothing Smash
Brothers. Oh, did you see that? Did you see that Brawlhalla asked to get roasted?
Mm-mm.
They're like, yeah, all right, roast us. Like, where's our roast? And then they're like, sorry, we were too busy playing Smash. Thanks, Wendy's.
That's a hard burn on you, Brawlhalla.
All right. You ready? Let's say later.